is in.
Naz, so good to see you. I'm excited to catch up and hear more about what's happening on Scheme. And we've been equally busy on Ledger. Lots to update you on. Big question for you, though. Why now?
We've made a lot of efforts in the past to try to bring the industry together to solve specific problems. There's still some friction there for the end customer. We did some analysis, I'm sure you know about this, but 80% of the time it takes to process a payment happens in the last mile, right? So there's more we can do as an industry, and that's what we're trying to do here, right? We're putting this framework in place so that we can standardize the way in which that experience is provided to the end customers.
Naz, you used the word framework. What do you mean by framework?
What we're doing is we're working with the industry and bringing together financial institutions on the SWIFT network to agree on a set of rules that can enable a really good experience for the end customer. So that's transparency, predictability, and better speed.
What's been the uptake?
We're up to more than 50 institutions that are interested in the initiative. The MVP, which is going to happen by the end of June, we have 25 banks and counting that have committed to implementing. 11 receiving markets, 20 plus corridors. But I think the most important thing is we've got 5 of the top 10 remittance corridors that are going to be included in the MVP, and that's going to have a real impact on the end user. But Avril, this is only half of the story. We're also working towards the future and the development of the SWIFT ledger. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, of course. So if you think about where the market is today, 24/7 is becoming an expectation from customers and elsewhere. But we've also seen a real market maturity around digital assets, and SWIFT is really participating in that by building this ledger. So the ledger offers that closing of the gap by creating this sort of shared orchestration layer.
You mentioned at the start that there's been some good progress there. I'd love to hear about that.
We're co-designing with over 40 global institutions, and so far we're moving towards that MVP in the near future.
Tell me more about the MVP.
So the MVP is really looking at a singular use case to start with. We're talking about 24/7 payments, and we'll be using tokenized deposits as the interbank liability, which, as you know today, their challenge is really that they're quite siloed in nature, and this makes them interchangeable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Settlement will still happen on existing rails, so we'll be using RTGS or correspondent banking, but future iterations will be looking at things like on-chain settlement. The ledger we really see as this sort of multi-asset, multi-chain solution.
Right. So there's much more to come.
Much more to come, Naz.